So the Honkai Star Rail version 1.3 special live stream happened this last week, and I gotta tell you, I'm actually pretty stoked on stuff coming out. But I will say it did feel a little bit more, for lack of a better term, lackluster comparatively to other live streams that we've had for Honkai Star Rail. And I still want to go over everything because there is still a lot of really good information on here, and I definitely have to say that Honkai so far, even with this being in my opinion a little bit on the lighter side of the hype, still is really kicking butt in regards to these live streams. They do such great things, and I really wanted to cover everything that happened in 1.3 because one, there's at one point where I got up and, you know, I really had to go to the bathroom. I can't help that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting old. I can't help it. But I also wanted to cover everything that kind of happened, so in that way we can discuss together. So we're gonna do that today. We're gonna do a condensed version of what happened in 1.3, talk about it a little bit, and then move on with the rest of our day. But before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, guys, remember this is sponsored by Gamer Subs, where you can get 10% off your next purchase using code TYSTRA on some gluten-free, keto-friendly, awesome energy drink. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get right into it. Big shout out to the website games8.co for having this whole list of things that transpired during the live stream. So let's go ahead and dive in. First things first, we did get the actual banner details already. I'm not going to do a should you summon just yet until about a couple days before those banners come out. So just understand that I'm going to be a little bit reserved on these and not really putting too much info on it yet. But we do have the first banner, the Imbibitor Lune banner coming out, and we get Asta, March 7th, and Yukong, which are all really, really good units. I'm a big fan of Yukong, one, because I think she's absolutely gorgeous, and two, I like her kit. I know that some people kind of disagree with me and say that Jingyuan's is better. That's fine, but for some reason, I just really like Yukong's kit. We also got his light cone, which looks pretty dope. I like the picture of it. Pretty sick. And then, of course, we got the Fushan banner that's coming out on September 20th, going until October 11th, with, of course, having Hook, Pela, and the new Abundance Healer, that's a Quantum Element, Lynx, which she looks actually pretty cool. I do feel bad because at one point, like, I did kind of walk away from the stream. This was actually around that time when Lynx's kit was being talked about, and I do feel bad, but Lynx does look like a really, really cool character. And then, of course, we're getting the Fushan light cone, which again, the art would look sick. These guys are absolutely killing it on the artwork for this game. In my opinion, some of the best artwork in games I've seen in a long, long while. Of course, this goes over phase 1 and phase 2. We already know that. With the two new light cones, brighter than the sun, and she already shut her eyes, 5-star light cones. We are getting some new, well, basically a new mission called Obsequies Performed, A Long Road Ahead, which will actually, like, kind of go over everything that happened as, like, the ending of this little section, which is weird that we're going through the ending of it, but it might be like Genshin Impact where it ends at 1.6 and we're going to get some filler episodes between 1.4 and 1.6, which would be cool. Filler is nice every once in a while, so I wouldn't be against it. And of course, we're getting 4 new companionship missions, which I'm pretty stoked on. We're getting one for Imbibitor Lune, Lynx, March 7th, and Luca. I'm actually really excited for the March 7th one because it's going to talk about her past and who she was. And so that's pretty crazy. Like, we've been asking about it since the beginning, and now we're going to find out. So, pretty excited for that. Of course, we are getting new maps. The Arum Alley map previews were up, which it looks pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty excited for another new map. I still got a 100% all the other maps that came out, so I put it in your brain, Tyster, get it done. So, and then of course we're getting new enemies called the Swarm, which will tie into an event that we're going to be talking about here shortly, but they're basically beetles, giant beetles. If you're afraid of bugs, you're going to hate this update. That's just how it is. We are getting 2 new stagnant shadow bosses, the shape of puppetry and the shape of abomination. So be ready for those. Those are going to tie into the 2 new characters, the 2 new 5-stars, being Imbibitor Lune and Fushan. So pretty self-explanatory there. we are going to start talking about the new events coming out. And of course, let's talk about Gift of Odyssey. A lot of people are super excited for Gift of Odyssey. I think it's great. I think that more games should do this. Games like Nikkei and Honkai Star Rail do fantastic with this, while Genshin Impact, a lot left to be desired. So Genshin, get with the program, dude. Give us free summons. It don't hurt you. You make like $80 million a month almost. Not actually $80 million a month, but they make in between $20 to $80 million a month. It's depending on the you get what I'm saying. They make a lot of money. They can afford to give 10 free polls to people. It's just how it is. Now, we're also getting what looks to be, and I haven't really entirely confirmed if this is just, like it says, check out the new features of Simulated Universe, but I'm also torn because it made it sound like it was a brand new event. So I'm gonna assume that it's an update to Simulated Universe, which is cool. Means that we're getting a whole bunch of new stuff that ties in with the Swarm. But the one thing that is not really talked about here is that we are getting a new path called Propagate. Now, I'm kind of torn how I feel about this of getting a new path, but if they do it right, it's gonna do great, just like how we introduced Dendro. Like, yes, Dendro's been around since the beginning of Genshin Impact, but we haven't really had anybody or anything in the Propagate path, so it's gonna be pretty cool. We got a Manage Aram Alley type of thing, which is gonna be like a simulator type of deal. Pretty cool. Double material assignments for the Space Task Force event. Pretty pog, if I do say so myself. Planner Fissure coming back, giving us double of the ornaments, of course. Garden of Plenty, Calyxes, getting double rewards. Always love to see that, especially since it's hard to, you know, ramp up these characters. Then, of course, we're going to be talking about this. It's a Path of Propagation. We're getting new curios and all sorts of other stuff. So, yeah, there's that. Now, of course, a couple of the side things that we are getting. New phone wallpaper feature, which is going to be kind of like, you know, Genshin Impact's whole like banner thing, but it's your whole phone screen. And I think that's cool because it's another customizable thing that really, like, it doesn't seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that's a wonderful idea. Again, it's another really cool customizable feature that I think is really cool. And then, of course, a new chat function update where you could actually sort your friends list, disable friend requests, and send emojis to your friends in the latest chat function update. Pretty cool. Like the fact that you could send emojis to your friends. So yeah, that's pretty dope. I usually just use Discord, but I'm not gonna be sad about having this chat function. And then I think the most hype of this all, right, to tie this all together, Trailblaze power is getting increased from 180 to 240, which is fantastic. That's 2 updates of Trailblaze power. Not only that, but the biggest thing to come from this, right? You will slowly save any overflowing Trailblaze power to use at a later time. That's amazing. Because that's something that instead of having us have to, you know, like, I keep comparing them, but they're from the same company, guys. I'm just letting you know, if you get upset with me comparing them, get over it. It's from the same company. It is what it is. But Genshin Impact, we use fragile resin to get, you know, condensed resin to be able to do double runs, right? Which is cool. It makes it a lot easier. But what I like about this instead is that instead of condensing your resin to use at a later date, this automatically does save your resin if you overflow. And I think that's wonderful because a lot of people, like, take me for example, like, I could do it every day, but there are days when I just don't have time, so I just rush through shit. Now I could do maybe half of my Trailblaze and then let the rest go in, and then slowly start sinking into my reserve Trailblaze power, so on and so forth. There's ways that you could go about it. Like, let's say you miss a couple days, some of your resin some of your resin will carry over and you could use it for on reserve. I think that's wonderful. That's a great thing, and I think that more companies should do stuff like this because this is new, like, at least to me, from other gacha games. being able to have a certain amount carry over until later on that you could use is new to me. If it's not new, let me know in the comments what game does it, because I haven't played every single gacha game out there. It might be that a gacha game that's very indie-esque has already done this before. If that's the case, cool. But I think it's great to see something like this in a big game. That's fantastic. Overall, I think that 1.3 has its hype moments. I'm very excited about the companion missions because I want to see March 7th's whole thing. My other biggest thing is getting 10 free summons. That's great. They keep on doing that. Keep it up. Simulated Universe getting propagation might be a really, really cool addition. The events look dope, and getting the new phone wallpaper is sick. And my biggest thing is the Trailblazer power. I think that that tops just about everything, and it's not because I don't like everything else. It's just that that's big. That gets more people to play. The more that your players are playing and having fun, the more reputation your game's gonna get for being a fun game and listening to its players. Again, a lot of gacha games can take credit from this, or take inspiration from this, because this is something that I feel that other games could do to give you more player base consistency. But anyways, I'm done talking about it. Guys, this update looks pretty freaking dope. In general, I think that 1.3 is going to be a hit. Is it going to be as big of a hit as 1.2 with Kafka in them? Maybe. I see it as a possibility, but we'll see how good Imbibitor Lune and Fushuan do. But overall, in terms of events and everything else, this event, or this update, looks fantastic. Now, y'all, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. Would love to hear you guys' opinions. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It does help out the algorithm. Please comment. I want to interact with you guys a lot more. So, but yeah, that's going to be it. Love you all to death. And as always, we'll catch y'all in the next video. Please take care and be safe.